the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was the song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk. Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and I am your award-winning, I guess I am an award-winning host, but I'm joined by award-winning hosts on this show as well. I'm trying to fix my bow tie. I'm kind of go backwards here, but this is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from Green Bay, live from the NFL Draft, day 2 of the NFL Draft in Green Bay. Shout out to my boy DJ Brother Z holding it down on the ones and the twos. Shout out to you as well, Truth Nation, for always chiming in. You can always call in or text in to Truth to Power here on 1017 The Truth at 833-212-1017. But in addition to that, you can always stream and watch us live on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That is 1017 The Truth on YouTube as well. Give us a thumbs up and get us a subscription to subscribe. But as y'all can see, I'm joined by the people's champ himself. Hey. WBA award winner, WBA nominated for best radio show in the state of Wisconsin.
Let's get it.
Tori Lowe has arrived here in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the NFL Draft. And so since Tori Lowe is around, I said, Tori, you got to join me to bring the powerful conversation. But before we get into that, Tori, also I want y'all to know, y'all can go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube, and y'all can check out my Day 2 Draft Day fit. I didn't get drafted yesterday, so I had to get suited and booted for Day 2. Had to get suited and booted for Day 2 with the $100 hookup from Nick Avani's in Milwaukee. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to Nick Avani's. They got me suited and booted yesterday, Tori. I'm walking up and down, going through the draft, and I'm telling you, no lie, a couple things. First things first, some folks thought I was somebody. Some folks thought I was getting drafted. You can tell when people looking at you
thinking, you was here for draft day.
They thought I was trying to get backstage. They absolutely thought I was trying to get backstage because I look that good. In addition to that as well, now y'all know, now you know it's Green Bay, T-Lo. And you know what we love to do in Green Bay? We love to eat cheese, and we love to drink beer. And let me tell you, there was a lot of beer drinkers out there yesterday, and I had to fend some of these women off of me yesterday. Some women was,
swat them out.
Ooh, they was trying to flirt with me.
They was trying to get in like Shannon Sharp. They was trying to get close.
They was trying to get close to me. I listened to Monique, though. I said, get away from me. Get away from me.
They was trying to pull you in.
They was trying to pull me in, but I said, not today, Satan. And so I had one young lady came up to me. She was like, oh, are you like getting drafted? I said, no, this is my draft day suit. She said, oh, draft day suit. I like that. And then she saw me again. She said, hey, draft day. I said, hey, how you doing? Kept it moving. I'm taking man. I ain't here for all that.
She was trying to figure out what
she
pick.
Was trying exactly. She was trying to cap a come up.
She was trying to see what pick she was gonna be.
Yeah, I guess so. She was. she gonna be undrafted. She's gonna be undrafted. I'm not looking to grab.
She may have to be like Shador. You know, she may have to wait.
You're gonna have to wait
to the next round. Yeah.
Definitely have to wait a little bit, but I am so excited to be here live from the NFL draft. And again, shout out to Nick Avani's for hooking me up with my $100 hookup suit that I do have on today. Styled me up. Yuli styled me up. So again, visit nickavanis.com or visit Nick Avani's at Mayfair Mall on the second floor. I'm telling you, any occasion, whether it's a prom, whether it's a wedding, whether it's an event that you have to go to, whether it's graduations coming up right now, right? Prom season is now, graduation season is coming up. Make sure your son or daughter, whatever it is, make sure whoever want to get suited and booted, make sure they do it at Nick Avani's at Mayfair Mall. Now, Tory Lowe, we in Green Bay because the NFL draft is in Green Bay. And T-Lo, man, tell me, as a lifelong Packer fan, right, being somebody from Milwaukee,
right,
how dope is it that you get to be here in Green Bay, Wisconsin?
We working. We having fun. I ate some exotic pancakes today.
Man, I'm mad about that.
With the strawberry and the little,
Oh, that's what they had in the cubby. I'm going to have to ask for some of that. There, I see it. There it is.
Hey, it was amazing.
I see.
As soon as we got here, it was right there. It was powerful.
Buck and Honey's
and we just getting started.
Yeah, we just getting started, absolutely. Now, Tori, I know we're not a sports show, but I do want to talk a little bit about just overall impact, because I encourage anybody, if you are thinking about coming up to Green Bay for the NFL draft, if you thought about it, come on up. I'm telling you this right now. You will not regret making that trip up. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of people. You got to figure out parking, but the memories that you will have for a lifetime from the draft. I've been taking a lot of pictures because for me, 10, 15 years from now, Lord willing, I'm still around, I'll be able to show these pictures to my kids or be able to reminisce on some of those pictures. I went to the All-Star game in Milwaukee back in 2001, I believe it was, and I still got memories from when I went there, right? So this is another great opportunity to make a memory. So why do you think it's so cool to have the draft here in Wisconsin?
Well, I'll tell you, this is a great experience for everybody involved. In our lifetime, I don't know if it's going to be another draft in Green Bay in my lifetime.
Right.
So be here right now, live in the moment, be excited if you're a Packer fan because we hosting the draft and the Bears still suck.
That was funny. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yesterday was hilarious because Clay Matthews, if you did not see or you haven't seen on social media, Clay Matthews and other Packer legends like Ahman Green, James Jones, Mason Crosby,
Lil Wayne
was up there to open up the NFL draft. And when Clay Matthews got on stage, I wish I would have sent this to Zach. Clay Matthews got on stage and he said, I heard from the president. So once people said, I heard from Donald Trump, you heard boos and you heard cheers. Yeah, they heard boos and cheers. And so they were like, uh-oh. And he said he wanted me to give you a message, and he took out a letter, and he said, the letter said, the Bears still suck, and the crowd erupted. I mean, it was a powerful, great moment. There's no better thing he could have did at that very moment. But, Tori, looking at this, right, what are you more excited for right now? Because right now the Milwaukee Bucks are in the playoffs. Right. They play tonight. What are you more excited for? Which one are you looking more forward to tonight? You looking to the Milwaukee Bucks, or you looking to see what's happening with the Green Bay Packers in day 2 of the draft with the second and third round pick?
Overwhelmed with the spotlight being on Wisconsin, on Milwaukee, on Green Bay. This is our time to shine, so I'm excited for it all. I mean, we want the Bucks to get that win in because
you think they can?
I'll tell you this: the Bucks can. I mean,
Bucks, you ain't confident. Bucks will.
Well, let me tell you something. The Bucks can do it.
Yeah.
I think that they have to work a little bit more together.
Yeah.
I'm not punch drunk. What I'm saying is, you down, 0-2. It's time for the team, if they got anything, powerful inside of them, to show it on the home court.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do: defend home court in the playoffs.
Yeah. Absolutely want to defend home court in the playoffs. But thinking about this,
let's get
it exactly. But thinking about this, right? We in Green Bay right now. We here for the NFL draft, and they were able to have 200,000 plus people right in the parking lot outside of Lambeau Field in Green Bay. But T-Lo, tell me this: this is a big event that came to Wisconsin for the NFL. will the next big event coming to Milwaukee be an NBA All-Star game? Do you think Milwaukee has what we need to host an NBA All-Star game?
And they're trying to build up around the Deer District. Once again, the Deer District became a model for NBA teams as far as fanmanship.
Yeah.
And then the last couple of years, we kind of faded with not making it past the first round. So this hype and the excitement, win and everybody's excited, lose and everybody making excuses. So I think right now the Bucks, even though we have a great structure, Deer District, they're building up around it. There's a lot of development around the Deer District, so we can have that type of situation right here. We convention, they calling us the convention capital right now.
That's what the hope is.
That's what they're trying to, they bringing in. We had both Democratic and RNC.
Yeah, we sure
So
did.
if we can host those kind of events, the NBA All-Star game shouldn't be too far around.
Wait a minute, Tori.
We're building up that resume.
Tori, is there enough? Now, come on now. I love Milwaukee, and I love the beautiful women in Milwaukee. But, Tori, is there enough baddies in Milwaukee to fulfill the need of these NBA players?
I'm going to tell you this. If you want
That's high class. You got to have nice places to go.
Okay, well, they got the new apartment building across the street.
Yeah, they got the. I mean, what you trying to do?
Across the trade. All I'm saying is we got the capacity to host conventions.
No,
that's
do.
all I'm saying.
But, I mean,
but if you want,
crowd,
but Bobby Portis already let the cat out the bag.
Well,
when he told Kuzma that it ain't really nothing to really dress up for around the city, And y'all call Bobby Portis the mayor, but then also they call Lil Boosie the mayor. I don't know. But all I'm saying is they coming, they here. But if you want a nightlife scene, if you want something to do like around the clock 24/7 like New York, LA, this ain't that.
So that's my whole thing is that I want somebody to definitely say we're going to host the NBA All-Star game here. I think Milwaukee has the capacity to do it. I mean, it's just that nightlife is so. I mean, and
you might stay out of trouble this year. You might not have nobody trying to seek a lawsuit on you and try to say that you got them knocked up. You might get here, it might be boring out there.
Taking shots at Shannon.
But no, what I'm saying is,
did you talk about Shannon yet?
No, I talked about Shannon the other day. We've been talking about Shannon because the more information has been coming out, and every day. That's why I sit back and try to listen. But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people role play. A lot of people do. Are
you a lot of people?
No, what I'm saying is I know people that do it.
Wow, you know people.
Man, please. I was in a rock band. I was out of Iowa and Minnesota. I lived like five lives.
So yeah.
So what I'm saying is I know there's different styles, but and if you look at the text messages, they were involved in one of those maybe extreme styles.
Yeah, it's dominant and submissive type thing. And so no, I agree. I think it's unfortunate. Shannon Sharp was actually here in Milwaukee last night. Not Milwaukee, excuse me. Here in Green Bay, he was at Lambeau Field filming his podcast with Ocho Cinco, the Nightcap podcast, right in Lambeau. And I think it's interesting because you were talking about, we're talking about nightlife and young things and different things like that. Like you may not think you can get in some trouble, but I think Milwaukee would show out. When I say we come
out.
Listen,
let me tell you something. We don't disappoint. When we come out, it's the best thing you'll ever see. We're the only place that when the old school artists come, it's like they just came out.
Yeah,
they love this place. They love this place. All of the old school entertainers, when they pass Milwaukee up, when they at the height of their career, when they circle back around to Milwaukee and it be like 10 years later, it's like they first came out.
Yeah,
so we show up and show out.
I think Milwaukee be interesting because I feel like the bar scene, I don't even go out like that anymore. But I feel like the bar scene there ain't enough clubs in Milwaukee. But the thing is they had an NBA All-Star game. The problem is that everybody would come out the good and the bad in Milwaukee. Because we saw what happened with the NBA Finals, right? They gonna have to shut the
I thought they
down.
made the improvements already.
They did make the improvements, but I don't think it's as strict down there as it was after that happened. And I'm telling you, they're gonna have to put them gates back up because it's gonna be.
A lot of people forgot that during that. When we was making that run, there was a lot of kids up at Midtown.
Yeah, there was.
And there was a lot of shooting. So when they went, instead of really trying to remedy the situation, they put those boulders up and blocked those kids from going to Midtown. Guess where they went?
They went straight downtown.
And then all that traffic went because it was hot downtown. The next move was to go down there where the playoffs was. So that's where a lot of that traffic went. But I think now that those type of crowds, they've moved on. And I think now if you have something like the NBA All-Star game, we have things in place to make sure that it's successful.
Yeah, you are listening to Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am joined by Tory Lowe from the Tory Lowe Show. There is going to be a cousin sub of the day today, Homer Blow in for Tory, but he'll be popping in on his show as he is live up here in Green Bay with me today. I wanted Tory to pop on. I said,
I'll be tapping into the show at 1:30 at my show. I'll be calling in, making the reports at 1:30, 2:30, and at 3:30.
Fantastic. We're going to have you right here. We're going to get you on the kick.
Hey, that's
right
powerful.
here. We're going to be right here. We're going to get you set up. We're going to make it happen. So definitely tap in as Tory will be joining his show, the Tory Lowe Show from 1 to 4, live from the NFL Draft up here in Green Bay. Now, Tory, before I let you go, for those who are Packers fans, can you give them how you feel about how the Packers drafted after they drafted Matthew Golden in the first round yesterday at the 23rd pick out of Texas?
Well, a lot of people was having wide receiver talk. You know, I'm a defensive guy. You know, I was hoping that we can get an edge rusher, you know, somebody put some pressure on the quarterback. But you know what? They got the fastest wide receiver in the draft.
4.28 40. That boy can fly.
He got a 4.28 40 on his record. So I don't know if he's ready to be a game changer, but he definitely has the speed and can be developed into that. And I can see that where right now we need somebody to stretch the field. And so if he can come along, you know, they're going to put him on the program. They're going to try to get him right, see if he can have an immediate impact.
Tory,
but it's
ain't no C. He better have an immediate impact.
And that's what I was talking about. I wanted a receiver that was going to be a game changer, but he has the speed to be the game changer. So I said I wasn't with the wide receiver unless he had the ability to be a game changer. 4.28 40 is no joke.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, he ain't just see. You got Christian Watson, who's just a lot of speed, track runner. You got a dude in Matthew Golden, who's an all-around great receiver, right?
I just don't want the T. Buckley situation.
No, he ain't.
Okay, I mean, because everybody forget about T. Buck had speed too.
He did.
Okay, it didn't translate.
It didn't translate.
Okay, so you never know, but it's the potential is there.
No, yeah, it did. So everybody should be. I think everybody should be excited for Matthew Golden. I think there'll be a lot of fireworks here in Green Bay after that selection. Thank you so much, Tory Lowe, for joining me here
thank
today
you for having me.
on Truth to Power. It is powerful. You will hear
You're looking
Tory
good.
Lowe. Thank you. You know, my $100 hookup from Nick
$100 hookup, Nick Avani.
I'm looking fresh. Clean.
Looking fresh and so clean. I like that.
So I just want to say thank you, T-Lo, for joining me. And again, y'all can hear T-Lo today on the Tory Lowe Show. He'll be popping in. Homer Blow is your cousin sub of the day for that. But you will hear from Tory Lowe at 1:30, 2:30, and 3:30. So make sure y'all keep it locked. But Tory, thank you for joining us.
I'm gonna go jump out into the crowd. I'm gonna try to crowd surf.
Go ahead and crowd surf.
I'm gonna
today.
try to check and see where Lil Weezy at.
Lil Louisiana. Make sure, Tory, you be safe out there now. You ain't a young man like you used to be. But when we come back on the other side, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm taking a week off on vacation. So there's a couple things that I want to hit on. And so we're going to do a weekend review when we come back because they're arresting judges. You got a whole bunch of other things happening. So I want to give y'all an update on all the current news happening and also talk some Milwaukee as well. So keep it locked. You're listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace live. Yes, live from the NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, sponsored by Nick Avani's Men's Shoes and Apparel. Keep it locked. We'll have more conversation on the other side.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need
the $100 hookup.
This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, and shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavanis.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, They've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's 101.7 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's lots of buzz surrounding the draft, but you won't find one seeping through Pella's windows and doors. In fact, you should make Pella your number one pick because right now you can take advantage of no interest financing options or free glass upgrades as long as you order by April 30th. Make a statement by adding Pella's architectural interest inside and out with maximum design flexibility. Their talented designers and installers can match your unique home through dramatic sizes, custom colors, finishes, profiles, product types, and more. Along with durable and distinguished details, all Pella products stand the test of time, which is why they confidently offer the best wood warranty in the industry. Don't miss out on no-interest financing options or free glass upgrades at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions apply, and the deal ends April 30th, so place your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
Let's get them dollars. Let's get this money. I keep my mind on my money, money on my mind. I got my finger on the trigger, staying on the grind.
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, and we are live from, Green Bay, Wisconsin for the NFL Draft. Y'all asked me, some people ask, where you at? So here in Green Bay, we have something called our Tundra Trio houses. We host guests here, and right in the backyard, you are able to see Lambeau Field, but excited to be coming to y'all live again, courtesy of Nick Avanis, and thank you again to Tori Lowe for joining us here on the other side. But before we went to break, I teased what we were going to be talking about, some different things, and make sure y'all go to 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. And since I'm going to be gone all next week, I wanted to make sure that I got y'all hooked up with a weekend recap. So I'm going to call it a weekend review, but we're going to go ahead and you can go ahead. Zach, you can spin off the top, you can spin weekend recap. Matter of fact, spin off the top. Let me hear with that.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Yes, Truth Nation, I got to get some stuff off my chest today and let y'all know some of the things that happen inside the news. And the first thing I want to tell y'all about is politics is a scumbag game. It's full of a whole bunch of scumbags, I tell you, on both sides. And we see here in Wisconsin, we see a state that is so divided politically and is divided amongst those political lines, which keeps getting us from getting real things done way too often. Too often people are trying to do things to make other people happy versus actually working for the people. Because I personally, y'all, I'm a big supporter of people, right? Work in the best interest of your constituents. That's what I'm all about. Don't worry about these corporations and who line your pockets. Work for the constituents. And y'all know where my lean is, but this is my thing. I always appreciate politicians that really work for the people. So people like Bernie Sanders, people like Mitt Romney, people like Paul Ryan from here in the state of Wisconsin. Listen, just because I may disagree with political views does not mean I cannot respect you. And I truly do respect people who have their views and stand on that, but they put people first. That's why I couldn't stand Scott Walker, because Scott Walker was always thinking about the next job. Milwaukee County Executive, he was thinking about when he was going to run for governor. When as governor, he was thinking about when he's going to run for president. I love people who stand on their morals and also stand for working for people. So that's why I get so mad at our common council here in Milwaukee for giving themselves a raise during the time they were raising sales taxes and property taxes on the city of Milwaukee, on the constituents of Milwaukee. We'll discuss that at a later date. But something I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is there is, again, a lot of trickery happening in Madison. And y'all know how I feel again. I don't feel good about people not being consistent and being even. And so right now there's a handful of lawmakers who propose to change the state laws to keep appointees from staying in their jobs beyond their expiration of term. And so when we talk about the appointees, we're talking about somebody who potentially was appointed to the election committee or all these other little committees, DNR, people who are appointed in roles. Now, some people may say, yeah, that makes sense. If your term has expired, you should be able to move on. But the problem is that these politicians play politics so much that instead of confirming people, they will leave this position vacant. And if you leave the position vacant, then that will mean that nobody will be in charge of the department. And so they basically allow for people to keep working until the seat is filled. Now, here's the thing that I don't like about this. If the politicians wanted to go ahead and change this law, go and do it. But what I don't like is the fact that back when Scott Walker was in charge, or I shouldn't even say Scott Walker, back when we had different people in charge, there were different departments and appointees that were appointed by the Republicans that Tony Evers wanted to replace, but they were in their terms were up, and the Republicans refused to vote on it. And the Republicans spent $255 million of taxpayer money. Yes, y'all heard that right. They spent, not $255 million. They spent $255,000 of taxpayer money to make sure that Republican people stayed in these seats after it expired. But now, since it's Democrats in these seats after it expired, now they're pushing to try to make a law so those people can't stay in those seats. You know what infuriates me about this? They playing with y'all money. They playing with our tax dollars. They are playing with our tax dollars. They spent $250,000 trying to make it be one way, and then when they don't have the advantage, they try to make laws and spend more money to make it the other way. Stop playing with our money and stop playing with our tax dollars. And so I just wanted to let y'all all know that right now they are wasting more of our tax dollars for things that they should not be doing it on. And I'm getting a little sick and tired of doing that because you just constantly see year after year after year wasted tax dollars on things that don't make sense. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention for that. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that here in Milwaukee, a judge was arrested by the FBI. Yes, a local judge here at Milwaukee County Court was arrested by the FBI. And I want y'all to hear the story from NBC News to stay up to date on what that was going on with that. DJ Brother Z, let me know if we good on that one. Sounds good.
Authorities reportedly arrested a Milwaukee County Circuit judge this morning for allegedly assisting an undocumented migrant. In a since-deleted tweet from FBI Director Kash Patel, he said this judge was arrested on charges of obstruction related to an immigration arrest. NBC News law enforcement and intelligence correspondent Tom Winter following these details for us. So, Tom, this is obviously late breaking. I know you were just running in here after checking court paperwork. What do we know about this arrest and this judge?
That's right. So Judge Hannah Dugan is the person who's been arrested here, facing 2 counts. The court paperwork was just unsealed: obstructing or impeding a proceeding before a department or agency of the United States and concealing an individual to prevent his discovery and arrest. And what they allege here in the course of the complaint that's been filed by the FBI agent who is running this investigation is that essentially this judge used the jury door. So that's the door that the jury comes in and out of the courtroom. It allows the jury to come in and out of the courtroom and be able to move through non-public areas. So that protects them. But it's also a way for other court staff to move through. And apparently she was involved in this case, at least according to the information that the federal prosecutors and the FBI has alleged here in the course of their investigation. She moved this individual who's wanted by ICE, for which there was an active and a arrest warrant for, to be removed from the United States, moved him through the jury door, allowing him to effectively evade ICE agents. This individual was facing criminal charges, 3 misdemeanor counts related to physical assault. And so that's why they were in the courthouse in the first place. Obviously, this has caught a lot of attention here this morning, but this is a case that's still moving forward.
A couple more questions here, Tom, because I know obviously you're literally reading these unsealed documents for us, but do we know if there's any relationship between the judge and the suspect? What would have motivated her to do this? How unusual it is for her? And how would the arresting agents know that she used this door? Were there ICE agents there waiting, and then they realized, okay, this guy was somehow transported, we couldn't get to him? You know, I'm just wondering what triggered the actual arrest.
Awesome question. So with respect to the individual, Eduardo Flores Ruiz, there's no indication that we have from any of our reporting that the judge knew this individual. I do want to be specific on the charges. It's 3 misdemeanor counts. He's 31 years old, domestic abuse and infliction of physical pain or injury. This incident allegedly occurred on March 12th of this year. With respect to the question you just asked, which is how would the investigating agents that led to this arrest today know what happened? Well, they say, according to the court documents that have been filed, that multiple witnesses they spoke to described what the judge did, described even some of the conversations that the judge was having, even conversations the judge was having with counsel and that the judge was having with court security staff. Those are the allegations.
And so with this story here, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, because this is big news. This is national news. That was NBC. That was national NBC talking about this story. A judge in Milwaukee was arrested. And the thing that made me mad about it is this. There's a lot of different things. The FBI made a spectacle of it, right? And I think it sucks that she was arrested. And the fact that instead of asking her to come in, getting her a warrant and asking her to come in, they made a complete show of it, right? Because they're trying to make an example of her. And again, I don't like where we're going with this country, where we're being led with an iron fist that is shown itself to be inept and incompetent. But the biggest thing for me when I think about this is she probably was wrong for doing this. Come on now. How are you a judge, right? How are you a judge and you know that if the FBI is coming to try to get somebody, it is not your job to harbor a fugitive. And I shouldn't say fugitive because he wasn't a fugitive, but at the end of the day, regardless of what your beliefs are, regardless of what those beliefs are, she knew in that very moment what she was doing it was wrong because of the way that she moved the gentleman out. So again, do I think some of the stuff that is happening and going wrong is wrong? Yes, 100%. But I do understand I love my freedom. I do understand I'm not going to commit a crime by trying to move somebody out. And I do understand the current times that we are living in. This is not the time for somebody to do something like that could get you arrested for this one person who at the end of the day, though he got into a fight, and, you know, it is what it is. If they want to try to grab him, you can't stop him. You cannot stop him. You are a judge. You are not an attorney. So at the end of the day, your job is to say, hey, sir, listen, they're going to arrest you, but here's my recommendation of who you can hire for some type of immigration attorney to protect yourself. But it is not your job to harbor a fugitive or get somebody out. That is not her job as a judge. We did not vote for that, or she wasn't appointed to that position to do that. So she was absolutely wrong with doing that. Now, I can be upset about them making a spectacle of this and trying to embarrass this woman and make an example out of her. But at the end of the day, I think she did make a poor decision in doing that. 833-212-1017. You are listening to Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. If you have any thoughts or comments on the conversation, go ahead and call in or text in at 833-212-1017. You can also watch and stream us live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. When we come back, we're going to take a deep dive looking into the first 100 days of the Trump administration. Keep it locked. You're listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Walsh, sponsored by Nick Avani's as I broadcast live, yes, live from Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin for the NFL Draft.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Lovell Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The NFL Draft Round 1 kicked off last night in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers, for the first time since 2002, selecting a wide receiver in the first round. Matthew Golden out of Texas. He talked about his mentality he's bringing to the pack.
Being reliable, man. In critical situations, I always showed up. When our back was against the wall, they could count on me to come out with a big play, and that's something I kept doing continuously. And, coming here, that's definitely the same mindset I'm bringing, to make big plays and come out here and win games.
Round 2 of the NFL Draft will start tonight at 6 p.m. Over to baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers will kick off a 3-game set in St. Louis tonight. First pitch tonight is scheduled for 7:15. And over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks will come back home and play Game 3 against the Indiana Pacers at Fiserv Forum. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Check. Straight up, dog. Straight up. Yeah. Straight up. Hello. Hey.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin. Carrie Nonijus will be joined by Sarah Noble, principal partner at B Noble Group, Chandra Lewis, founder and CEO of Reimagining Full Spectrum Doula Services, and Tamara Thompson, multidisciplinary doula and reproductive justice advocate with Maroon Calabash. They will be discussing healing legacies in Black maternal health. Again, that is More Than a Movement, powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin, this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. This is Truth to Power. I am Kyle Walsh, your host of Truth to Power. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to Text line. I am coming to you live, yes, live from Green Bay for the NFL Draft. And some people ask, what I got going on? So here's the thing. Yesterday, I really wanted y'all to see the shot of Lambeau Field, or excuse me, not Lambeau Field. You would have seen Lambeau Field, but also the NFL Draft in the background. But today I had to move locations because it is raining outside here. That's not a mattress, that's a couch. But it's raining outside here, and we actually have Adam Schefter. If any of y'all watch TV sports, Adam Schefter is coming, so they had to move him inside where I was going to be at. So I had to do some moving around to our other house that we have. And then on top of that, Matt LaFleur joined us yesterday as well, too. So really cool things going on here. But that is not a mattress. That is a couch, not a mattress. I know I got boxes in the background. I'm making it do what it do today, baby. Making it do what it do. But 833-212-1017, we were talking about the breaking news of a Milwaukee judge being arrested. Yes, a Milwaukee judge was arrested. Her name is Judge Hannah Dugan. She was arrested. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan is arrested and charged with 2 felonies in an ICE case. She basically took someone from her courtroom who the ICE agents were coming to get, and she basically let them out in a way she wasn't supposed to. And so now she is charged with 2 counts. And so we'll see what happens with this. But, yeah, I think she was wrong for doing this. But I do have some people on the talking text line, 833-212-1017. Al from Sherman Park, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hey, how you doing, Kyle? I agree. Don't get yourself – I'm good. I agree with you. Don't get yourself in trouble trying to harbor people, especially on the federal level, because when you go into federal court, you're going to be spending thousands on attorney's fees just to get yourself out of trouble.
And it's Franklin not worth it because you don't. That's a big-time attorney.
Yeah, so even though she's a judge, I don't think she's got millions, to appeal her case up to the Supreme Court. It's just going to bankrupt you. There was a judge also in New Mexico who had to step down because he was harboring illegal alien in his house, and the illegal alien took pictures of himself with a firearm, and you're not supposed to have firearms. I was doing some digging on this immigration thing. People don't realize that when you're in immigration court, it's not like regular district court. It's an administrative process. You go to immigration court while your case is being reviewed or adjudicated. You can only appeal to the immigration court that's under the administrative executive branch. And then when that gets adjudicated, the U.S. district courts can't even review the case. And that's the way the congressional law was set up. So these people thinking that you just go to federal district court and appeal your case when you get a judge for removal through the immigration process, that's not where you get your due process. This is solely in the immigration court and the immigration appeal court, which is not part of U.S. district courts.
Unfortunately, right now, some people aren't even getting that, and so I appreciate you, Al, for calling in, because I think we agree on the fact that this may have been wrong. And again, we're having a conversation talking about Hannah Dugan, the Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge, who was arrested by the FBI for obstruction of justice. After evidence, Judge Dugan obstructed an immigration arrest operation last week, said the FBI Director Kash Patel. So again, they're making a big spectacle about this. It is. People can feel how they want to feel. And on the talking text line, somebody did text in, and I want people to ponder this because I think it's a good point, right? And we have to think about morality. Because as I'm here talking about, she made a decision. She knew she did something she wasn't supposed to do. That wasn't part of her job. That's not what she was put on the circuit court to do here in Milwaukee County. But somebody text in at 833-212-1017, just like you can. And you can watch and stream us live on YouTube as well, as we are broadcasting live from the NFL draft here on Truth to Power. Somebody said, I disagree with you, Kyle. Technically, it was illegal to hide Jews during the Holocaust. And I think that's an interesting thought because I think it's extreme. But also, I see the point, right? Yes, there's scenarios where people are being persecuted and attacked. Now, the Jews were not anywhere illegally. They were being persecuted because they were Jewish and attacked because they were Jewish, whereas these illegal immigrants are being attacked because a lot of them aren't are not here legally, and then there are some who are here, like we saw with the situation with the man from Maryland, is that they are here legally and they're still not being treated fairly. And so again, I think it is something to ponder when we see people being attacked like this, right? When we see people being singled out like this, humanity should really come first, and we should just think about the fact that, man, this is just a messed up situation. But in this specific one, I don't think this individual by the name of Eduardo Flores Ruiz is worth evading arrest and helping him evade arrest. I don't think that was worth it. I really do not. And shout out to her for being a caring soul. But again, he was in your courtroom for a reason because he made a mistake. And in times like this, you got to understand time and place. This ain't the time to be getting no misdemeanor. He got a misdemeanor back in March. You mean to tell me you seeing, other people like you being deported for less and you gonna get in trouble with the law? What, have you lost your mind? I don't think he's the one for you should be standing up for. But 833-212-1017. I see y'all on the Talk to Text line. The caller, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Well, my thoughts are, Kyle, there's a mural, and are you familiar with who Joshua Glover is?
I am familiar with Joshua Glover.
So as you enter Milwaukee, because our city and particularly Fond du Lac Avenue was a part of the Underground Railroad, Joshua Glover, it was illegal for citizens of Milwaukee who lost their businesses to break him out of jail, but it was the right thing to do because, as Dr. King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And actually, the order for ICE to be picking people up has been deemed illegal by the Supreme Court. So everything that they're doing is illegal, just like Hitler did in Germany.
Okay, I mean, I hear you. I hear your point, to call. Thank you so much for calling in. He made made a very solid point, because right now I think we're talking about human decency versus recklessness and people doing what they want to do. And so I do think it's a tough situation. And so I would love to keep hearing from y'all. 833-212-1017. Al, you're on Truth to Power with Kyle Walls. What are your thoughts on this conversation? As a judge in Milwaukee, a Milwaukee Circuit County judge was arrested and charged with 2 felonies in an ICE case.
Well, I think she did what was excellently right within her favor, but why ain't nobody saying this about the homegrown terrorists? What about these Republicans committing rape and they are legal? I don't hear none of y'all saying that. Or what about these ones who claim what's in the righteous hand of God, but they push hate and they are legal? What about the undocumented ones that was cleaning his hotels? What about the illegal Europeans that's here? Do anybody care to share an answer? Because that question been waiting. And also, they also said that Jews are the new minorities, and they've been getting their money ever since they had the biggest slave trading company in Virginia, and they rest on skin color and hair. Do you find any of that entertaining? And I'll hang up and listen.
I'm gonna leave that one alone because I'm a fan of them, so I'm gonna leave that one alone. 833-212-1017. You ain't gonna get me in hot water. No. Listen, I'm going on vacation, and I ain't trying to be bothered on vacation. I done told Truth Nation. I done told every Truth Nation. Listen, I done told everybody at that office, do not call me, do not text me, do not email me. I made a promise to my baby girl. I said, baby girl, listen, I'm not even gonna bring my laptop. I ain't gonna do no type of work. I don't let everybody know. Not on duty. 833-212-1017. Tony from Tulsa, what's happening, man? What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Kyle, man, I'm glad you're going on vacation, so I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The other thing is, you must have known that I was going to call in and talk about something, not particularly this, but the immigration thing. First, those people comparing Germany and people being killed to this situation is ridiculously ignorant. That's not even comparable, the two. Secondly, this is the thing that I want people to start to understand. And this happened under the previous administration. There are 375,000 children migrants that are unaccounted for. And some of these migrants have gotten to sex trafficking. And so, and just to buttress my point, there was a HHS trafficker that blew the whistle on this whole thing back in, I think it was early 2024. But they silenced her when she came out with this. Like, look, these children are being trafficked, sex trafficked, and there's a documentary. I don't know when you're coming back from vacation, but I want to send you the documentary.
Really quickly, because I got a couple of calls. We're running short on time. I got a quick question on that. And so with those children, because that's a dang shame that they have children that they cannot account for, and it's shameful. Shameful on any administration, Biden administration, Trump administration, Obama administration, any administration that has children who are coming here unaccompanied and and you cannot find them. But did you hear that children are no longer going to have representation in court anymore? When they come across the border, they won't have anybody assigned to them. Did you hear about that?
Exactly. This goes to the point of what they're trying to do. This is a whole sex trafficking cabal.
So it's just like, what are we doing here as people that are allowing this stuff to happen? And again, like I always say, this ain't just one-sided; it's both-sided. I will say, but there's some silver lining though, that the Trump administration did do DNA testing. So these people that are accompanying these minors across the border have to be DNA tested to make sure that, like, okay, you are with this person, you are related to this person, versus having this stuff written on your arm to say, okay, this is where this needs to go. And so with this judge, it kind of goes with this judge. We don't know what that judge has been doing with that particular migrant.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Tony. That's very true. 833-212-1017. Winky Blue, I got about 60 seconds for you here. So what's happening, Winky Blue? Welcome into Truth to Power. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hey, I appreciate you taking my call. Listen to this, man. I think that the lady, the judge, and these other officials that are involved in this should be prosecuted, because what they're doing, they're interfering in an investigation. And if me and you did that, we're gonna get taxed for it, man. So I'm thinking that they need to be locked up. One brother called in and said something about I forgot. It just took my train of thought now that I'm trying to pour a pint into a quart into a pint. The deal is this, man. She needs to be arrested. We've got to show these people that what they're doing is wrong. And the Glover thing, the slave thing, the moral downtown, that was a runaway slave. That is not some person that has broken the law to enter this country. And the visa people, that's where you're going to come in and get your Australians and your white folk and even some Africans, because that's how you get them, through the visa thing. So keep your eye on the immigration status of visas. That's where you're going to see white folk going back, and they are going back. They just sent 7,000 Indians back. Send them back.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Winky Blue. Lastly, here again on the Truth Talk to text line 833-212-1017. Shout out to our Truth Nation. Miss Lana Banana, I got about 60 seconds for you as well. What's on your mind?
Okay, I'll make it 60 seconds. How you doing? You looking mighty dapper today.
I'm trying to. Shout out to Nick Cavani's. I didn't get drafted yesterday, so I gotta look clean on day 2.
If you ain't trying, you're doing it.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Okay. You're welcome. Now, I'm confused here. Now, if a judge resigns, can they still be prosecuted for
she could. Yeah, she committed a crime. So you can, even if she resigns, she still committed a crime. So Hannah Dugan, she was arrested. She going they got email. She gonna face some. She facing charges. She gonna be in some trouble. So.
Well, what about the one that Alan Sherman was talking about, the male that had a run in his house and the one was taking pictures and all that? Did they prosecute him? If not, why not?
I'm sure they will be prosecuting him. But my whole thing, Ms. Lana Banana, is this ain't the time to be trying to play around. As one thing you know, the Trump administration is an authoritarian administration. They're going to break the law. They're going to be reckless. They're going to be hypocrites. Like nothing makes sense. But one thing that does make sense, and I told y'all this, I'm traveling, and listen, I'm concerned a little bit about getting pulled out of line and them going through my phone and trying to find some stuff on me, because I'm just being so serious right now, because I know how deep the government goes. I 100% knows how deep the government goes. I've been to the White House before, and I know they know a lot about us. So, Ms. Lana Banana, this ain't the time to be messing around with the Trump administration when it comes to immigration.
It's not, because it's their way or the highway.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. Listen, this is, thank you, Ms. Lana Banana. You got anything else you want to say? Thank you. Listen,
thank you.
For anybody calling in to defend this lady, I understand. We care about humanity. But you are talking about an administration that is defying the courts. They told the United States Supreme Court that has 6 conservative justices on it that, no, we are not going to do what you tell us. There is nothing that we can do to stop them. But I do want to say quickly before we go to break, there was some breaking news. The federal government is reversing the termination of legal status for international students around the U.S. after many filed court challenges against the Trump administration crackdown. So what this means is these students aren't going to be kicked out. There's about 1,200 students nationwide that suddenly lost their legal status or had their visas revoked. So now they get their visas back in this point in time. On the other side, we'll wrap up the show. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walsh on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, brought to you by Nick Cavani's right there in Milwaukee.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices, and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know Denise out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year in 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavanis.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because whether it's a family road trip in your dream car or hosting a family reunion in your dream home, we help you feel protected so you can enjoy those dreams with peace of mind. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One, two, three, ho!
One call, that's all, Truth Nation. If you or a loved one is ever injured in an accident, you know what to do. Call Gruber Law Offices, and they will truly take care of you. I'm telling y'all this right now. Don't mess around with the insurance companies. If somebody say, oh, I'll handle it. No, don't mess around with somebody that hit you. Call Gruber Law Offices today, 414-276-6666. That's 414-276-6666. Remember, when you make that one call, that's all, to Gruber Law Offices, you never pay a single penny until they win your case. So visit them today at gruber-law.com. And so, Truth Nation, we had this conversation talking about the Milwaukee Circuit Court judge who was arrested for obstructing justice and basically taking the ICE agents came to pick up a illegal immigrant in the court, and she helped him get out. So she got arrested for it. And I see somebody here, Craig said, yo, again, I'm sorry. If this judge is being charged for interfering or obstruction, then all the judges who interfered in Trump cases should be too. Be fair across the board. Craig, we are living in an authoritarian government. That is not happening. It's just not going to happen. Understand that this is not a time where things are going to make sense, where things are going to be fair. They're going to say one thing and do another. So I expect nothing that makes sense. Literally, the law is thrown out. We're living in a time where one man is in control of everything. We have a dummy who's in charge of the dang Defense Department, and he continues to lie. And so listen, Truth Nation, understand. We're upset. with things going on, but understand that is the unfortunate reality that we have to deal with. But Truth Nation, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all showing me so much love this week. Shout out to Nick Cavani's for hooking me up with the $100 hookup. Y'all can see my shoes. They gave me these green shoes as well. They hooked your boy. I guess I could have just put the shoe on the stream like this. I didn't need to do all that. But thank y'all so much. Listen, y'all have a great rest of y'all show. Y'all have a great week as well. Homer Blow coming up next on the Tory Lowe Show. Peace out. I see y'all in a week. Peace.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.